Hustlin', 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 hustlin'.
What's going on, guys? It's the Pens fan here. Coming here to talk to you about the first two games of the Stanley Cup Finals. Last year, when coming into the series for the finals, it was one of my first finals watching it. Where the Penguins actually played. I watched the past series in '91 and '92 when they won. Through ESPN Classic or some other ways wherever I had a chance to see those series, but. This was, the current team finally in the finals, after being a fan for so long, and I was optimistic that, we were gonna do well. One few things that, all of us Pens fans knew that it wasn't going to be easy. Red Wings veterans team, obviously won the cup a few more times, and, they were veterans of the playoffs. Us, we hadn't been the playoffs. We were in the playoffs the year before that. We lost in the first round, but until then, before 2001, we hadn't made it. So really, it was kind of surreal. Seeing the team that we were watching and we were watching develop. Since the Lemieux days. After he had come back and he was kind of balancing his injuries and all that stuff, and finally getting Sidney Crosby, Evgeny Malkin, Marc-Andre Fleury, and all these picks finally come in to be the team that they are. Finally make the finals was fantastic. The first two games, last season were not impressive. I mean, they shut us out, and they were playing very good hockey because one, they had the crowd behind them. Two, it was just bang up hockey, and our nerves got the best of us. This year. Coming into it, rematch, vengeance, just all these, things, feelings roaming around about Hossa and all that really created, excitement about this series for, me as a Pens fan. And, I was just, really curious to see what we as, a team were going to do. Game one was all about a game of bounces and literal bounces. I'm not talking about, they got lucky this, lucky that, or, what I mean by, it was literal bounces. They had a shot to hit off a Little Caesars, ad on the board, and it bounced off Marc-Andre Fleury and went in. You can't really write that. I mean, you can't even do that on NHL 09 if you wanted to, even if they had one like that. They had an ad like that at the Joe. It's all about the bounces and how how us as a team we reacted, and we did very well the first period and the second period. We dominated the first period in the first game. And the third period, we let two quick goals get in, and that was the end of the game. I also found it great to watch when we pulled our goalie, and we didn't allow them to score that goal. Normally, that's a given goal. As soon as they pull the goalie, within the 2 minutes left of the game, they normally, the team normally scores and seals it. But we didn't let that happen. Game two. 24 hours later, you would have thought, back-to-back games, being like that, it would have, been an advantage for the Pens, and it was right at the beginning. The momentum just changed so rapidly between the two teams, and both the teams were playing good hockey. Officiating is something I really don't want to discuss because you know what. Other people that we've played against always complain about the officiating, and I'm not going to either. Just like Matty J said, I'm not going to do that because you know what? Yes, there were calls that were questionable, but I'm not going to sit here and go boo-hoo-hoo, woe is us. Because you know what? It can happen to the Wings, it can happen to us, it can happen to anybody. But I do have to make one small comment that the let it play kind of way they were calling the first two games, I wasn't a big fan of. I'm going to leave it at that. our teams, our team is creating chances, but either Osgood or the hockey gods are saying no. We were hitting off posts. We're heading off, all sorts of places, and we're creating great chances. But for some reason, we're not, we're just not getting the puck in the back of the net. On the plus side, though, last year it took us 3 games, like Jim Shear and a lot of people have said, it took us 3 games to score our first goal. And luckily we've scored 2 in the first 2. I don't know if that's a way to feel positive about, a loss, but I mean, I'm taking it, being an optimist. I'm at least happy that we at least scored, compared to last year. It's all about, the Red Wings D also is creating, they're creating their matchups and the way they want to play this game, and that's also, that was to their advantage at home, because since they're the home team, they get the last chance to change lines and create those matchups. So if Crosby's out there, they're going to have Holmstrom, and they're going to have their guys who's on that line out there waiting to block Crosby and deny those chances. But I'm proud of our team, and I'm not losing hope. I'm actually quite optimistic about tonight since it's in Pittsburgh. Really not a lot more to say. Just anybody who's in Pittsburgh watching this, tell your friends. Have them watch the videos, all of our videos. I mean, there's tons of Pens fans making videos. Please watch them all. Please support, and make a lot of noise tonight, guys. Until 8 o'clock tonight on Versus. Go Pens!